Everything we do is a beginning point, Connor. We literally can't even get a fifth episode going. By the way, welcome to the fifth episode, audience at home. Welcome. Yeah, we're here, Dinner in a Dungeon. Part 5.
Hey, everybody.
Anyone cooked anything interesting or eaten anything interesting since the last time we met up?
Yes.
Sure.
For the Memorial Day weekend, I smoked a leg of lamb that I marinated in some homemade jalapeno mustard, and then also made some ribs to go along with it, and smoked along with that some Vidalia onions with a bouillon cube in the middle. I don't know if you've ever done that. You carve a little hole out in the middle of the onion, stick a bouillon cube in there, cook it up. As the liquid comes out of the onion, it melts the bouillon.
So glad you mentioned onions. They will be critical to today's episode.
And just the other day, actually yesterday, my wife and I, there's a coffee shop down the road from our house. And every Monday they do what's called Mobile Monday. So they'll do local beers for $4 a beer, and then they'll have a food truck there in the parking lot. And this week was probably my favorite food truck. It's a thing called Chubby's Burgers, and they make their own burger blend with like different types of meat, and they make smashed burgers. And they have their signature burger, which is camembert cheese with a Cabernet ketchup, which is absolutely delicious. I had a That's What She Said burger, which is kind of their basic standard burger. And I asked them why they call it that. And they said, because when you bite into it, you go, damn, that's good. So they call it That's What She Said.
Wow.
And then they have a mushroom burger, which is a play off of one of the best intros of any movie ever, Super Troopers. It's called Those Are Shrooms, Dude. And it's their mushroom burger. And that was what my wife had, and it was absolutely delicious. It's probably one of the best burgers I've ever had.
The mushroom burger.
I literally
All
just
of their
made,
burgers.
I just made a Super Troopers reference in the show I had directly before this one.
Did you?
For Solaris Nights, yeah. There's a bunch of meowing.
Easy meow. Yeah, what else have you guys been eating?
I haven't seen that one. I don't really have much of a food story, unfortunately, even despite the bit of a break.
In 2 months, you haven't eaten anything interesting.
I mean, I wouldn't say nothing that I could really give any kind of like description of. That would be like, I had a great steak the other day. My mom cooked it, and it was fantastic.
Sure. It's okay to talk about your mom's steak.
Yeah, it was great. But I mean, I couldn't go beyond that moment. I will say I've been planning a bold statement. I'm anti-sugar. I'm pretty sure basically, aside from a few exceptions, like mostly anti-sugar. Like my wife got this cheesecake that's specifically okay for her diet, and she was thinking it'd be okay, but because they added tons of sugar to this cheesecake, even though it came highly recommended, she couldn't eat it. So it was very disappointing to her. So I'll go on and say that, like, really most desserts, like you want to like hem back that sugar, like maybe half sugar, something like that. So that was my controversial statement that I've been planning.
Thanks for that sub, Foodie McTootie.
It was free with Twitch Prime.
True.
Subscribe with Twitch Prime.
Cotton, you got any interesting foods you've cooked and or eaten?
I made bread.
True. I recall the pictures of that bread.
Yeah, I made cinnamon bread, coffee bread, chocolate coffee bread, strawberry bread. I was going to make regular bread, but I fell asleep today, so. That's what I've done.
I honestly don't know which one to go with because I've cooked so much stuff since the last episode. I made several pizzas. Super salad. I made
What's a super salad?
It's just an incredible salad. Don't worry about it. It's like a super Caesar salad. Grilled salmon and grilled chicken, croutons, craisins, raisins, crumbled feta cheese. I didn't used to like feta cheese, but now all of a sudden I like feta cheese and a squeeze of lemon over all of it.
That sounds delicious.
I like feta.
I learned how to make Thai Cobb salad. First, I learned what a Thai Cobb salad is, and then I learned to make one. And I had it, and it's okay. Not what I would have expected out of salad.
Is it like Thai ingredients?
No. It's named after a dude who was punching stuff a lot. It's literally just a bunch of different ingredients thrown into a salad and then mashed together. Like blue cheese, hard-boiled eggs.
Romaine, tomatoes, eggs, red onions, bacon, southwestern chicken.
But it's spelled like Thai,
T-Y.
Oh, is it TY?
Oh,
Yeah, it's
T-Y.
Thai Cobb salad.
Oh, Thai Cobb, like the baseball player.
Yes, it's named after him. Not originally, but it has become colloquially observed after him, even though he had nothing to do with it.
It was created in 1937 as a midnight snack by Bob Cobb at the Brown Derby restaurant. Interesting. Never heard of that.
What else have I cooked that's in? Problem with cooking so much, I don't really know. All right. A lot of bagels. I don't know that that's interesting. So
You cooked bagels?
I love bagels.
I wouldn't say I assembled the bagel afterwards. A lot of hummus and some different ingredients to go on top. Sometimes you do the hummus and salsa. Sometimes you just do hummus. Sometimes if you want to be a real hummus eater, you got to hit that hummus with tahini.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
We've got a really good bagel place by us, thankfully, and like you can get even kind of exotic ones. I wouldn't really go for myself, but I know my wife likes like French toast bagel. My daughter likes a rainbow bagel. It's all the colors of the rainbow. It's pretty cool.
I ran out of my special Irish cream butter, which was very unfortunate.
Like the Kelly one.
Yeah, I think that's what it might be called.
Yeah.
I got a bagel from the hospital cafeteria today, and that was pretty good.
Really? Most of the time, hospital bagels are a little rough.
Wow,
No,
look at this shit talker here.
The hospital that I went to and used to work at, they hire chefs in their cafeteria, and they make their bagels and stuff, and their food is so good.
Oh wow!
I was gonna say
Unless you're a
hospital
patient.
food is great now.
Unless you're a patient, because they can't put seasoning and stuff on your food if you're a patient for certain dietary restrictions. So it's pretty bland food if you're a patient.
Yeah, I will say the oncology place that my wife went to get treatments at. I was only allowed to hang out there once, but I got lunch. They have a cafe there, and it was pretty good food, and they brought it down to us. It was not bad. I was quite shocked, pleasantly surprised.
Our local hospital has pretty good food. Aside like the bagels are a little bit rougher, like just because they're like probably a prepackaged bagel, but in general, the food there is pretty good. Irish cream butter Kelly's seems to be the proper name.
Is that like Kerry Gold or whatever?
Oh yeah, Kerry Gold is the one I was definitely thinking of. Is that what you were talking about, AP?
I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry. All I know is that it had a gold wrapper and it was called Irish cream butter. I don't remember.
The gold
brand.
wrapper is definitely the Kelly's, as far as Kerry Gold.
Kerry Gold.
That would make sense.
Kelly's butter. I've never
I will
heard of that.
provide you a picture, AP, and we will see.
Okay. But you're sending it on Discord?
I am.
All right.
It's coming now.
I'm opening Discord.
Oh, Kerry Gold. Yeah. That's got to be it, right?
I've been told by
that is indeed the correct.
Hey, I can actually get that butter if I wanted to.
I cannot. It was very difficult to get, and I used it up very quickly, and it was excellent.
Really?
I've seen it at our grocery store.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think even like I could go to like a Food Lion or like a Piggly Wiggly, and they would even have that there.
Nope.
I've been told by several people that it was recommended to them by doctors as a butter substitute.
Butter flavored butter.
So
It's very good. I'm a fan of the Kerrygold.
I feel like butter is like mayonnaise. If you're gonna use it, you might as well get like full flavor. You know what? I'll tell you what I did. I've been talking a lot of shit about all of the terrible things I cook to eat. I bought a bunch of mason jars and some steel cut oats, and I've been doing overnight oats by putting milk in the mason jar, soaking the oats in them overnight, and then cutting fruit into it. That's surprisingly good. So I'm not really an oats or grits fan. People are like, you don't like grits? And I'm like, listen, I grew up in the South. I don't like grits. They have no flavor unless you strangle an entire vat of butter over them and then crop duster them with salt.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up with grits, and I do not like them.
Pour some bacon fat over it. That's how you make grits taste good. Otherwise, they're literally just,
grainy.
It's just like a kind of bland.
You haven't had my grits, AP.
I'm sorry, I haven't had your grits. Sorry, North Carolina. I had West Virginia food.
No, South Carolina is even better. It's hotter and sweatier down here.
That's definitely what I want to hear with my grits.
Mm-hmm. Our grits are hot and sweaty. That's where you get the salt seasoning from.
From your tears?
From my sweat as I stir the love into my grits.
Is that what she said?
Yes.
Am I going to make a callback?
Yes. Good job.
Okay. Sorry, AP. I thought about it. I was like, should I do it? Should I not do it? I was like, well, it's worth it as a callback.
Sure. I certainly have been memeing uncontrollably lately on all of my shows. I know the audience might be thinking it's been a while since this show has met, but almost all of my shows haven't been meeting lately and won't continue to meet for quite a while. It's been a rough time for all of us. Anyone got anything else they want to discuss? Any new upcoming Marvel or Star Wars products they want to talk about?
I canceled my Disney Plus subscription.
In the middle of Bad Batch? Are you insane? Are you crazy?
Well, it was way before Bad Batch even started.
Well, now's a great time to come back.
No, my credit card information got stolen, so I had to get a new, or not credit card, but debit card. So I had to get a new one, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let all of my fucking subscriptions just expire and then just restart the ones that I actually use. Because, like, literally, I watched The Mandalorian, and that was it. So why would I keep Disney Plus?
Okay, I'll buy that. You're missing
out. What are you
on,
alluding to, AP? Is there something on the horizon?
Well, I mean, Falcon and Winter Soldier was incredible, and
I heard that was good. WandaVision was also
WandaVision was better
good.
than Falcon and Winter Soldier. WandaVision was insane.
Our subscription got canceled right before the last episode of that show came out.
Oh my god! Are you crazy? How do you walk away not knowing how that ends?
I mean, you just read shit on the internet.
Okay. I mean, I could just read descriptions of how movies go, but just because I know who Kaiser Soze is doesn't mean it's gonna.
It was so powerful to read the description of him walking away and then limp disappearing.
Like reading Citizen Kane, it just doesn't have the same impact.
Listen, Tale Two Wolves just hit it right in the head. I don't have enough time to watch more than Twitch streams. I fall asleep. And that is me. I think I'm also secretly Tale of Two Wolves. There's so many freaking streaming services now. Like, it's just overload. Like, do I really need more? We have 3 now. We have 4, which is still ridiculous. We have Netflix, the OG, Amazon Prime, because I already have Amazon Prime, so that comes with it. HBO Max, because there's a lot of good shit on there, and Hulu for live TV stuff. I more than that, like, and I'm a lightweight. Like, it's hard. I will fall asleep. Like when movies used to be a thing, and you would like go see movies, I would fall asleep sitting there in the theater. I would have to like drink a lot of liquid to make it to where I'd had to go to the bathroom so that I would stay awake to watch the movie.
But at least at this point, you have all of them. right? You can't get. Oh, there's Disney, right? There's Disney. Well, you have
Yeah.
most of them. You don't really,
You got rid of like Disney, and there was one or two other ones that we had that I was just like, we don't even use these things, and I was paying almost as much as as we used to pay for like cable, so just let that shit expire. And there were other like subscription services for other shit that I had that I don't even remember what they were anymore, because you get drunk one night and you're like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, it's only $10. No, don't shop drunk.
never.
Now I'm thinking I want to stop drunk.
I mean, I dabble.
The real question is what store?
Oh, Amazon.
So Amazon. Okay.
I just give all my money to Daddy Bezos.
Well, Amazon literally just announced seconds ago that they are turning every Ring and Assistant into a mass free wireless network.
Really?
You have 1 week to opt out of it, or all of your shit gets exposed to the public.
Wait, what Ring? What?
You don't know what Amazon Ring is? It's a doorbell.
Oh no, I don't know. Okay. Wait, so you have 1 week, and then your doorbell will do what?
People could connect to it. It's wireless network publicly.
What the?
Yep.
Same with
Sounds like a very
the
expensive
Alexa things.
Yes, but don't say that word, because now
God,
the
it's
thing
listening.
is, yeah.
But I thought your
Ring
Alexa
is owned by Amazon. It's not different. You're crazy. What are you? I mean, it's not the Ring. That's a weird girl stuck in a well who crawls out of it, or doing weird Japanese horror shit.
I'm pulling up that Alexa app right now to.
You keep saying the word.
Well, she's over that way.
Oh my god.
But people could be listening, is what he's saying, with their devices.
Yes.
Oh, is that the concern? Okay.
Yes, that's the concern. I don't care what he does with his device, okay? That's between him and God. And his device.
And Amazon, you mean?
What he does.
You don't want to
like
know.
I said, between him and God. But what he does with other people's devices is my concern. Alright. Anything else we want to do here before we get started and Connor recaps us with what we did last time?
Don't put that pressure on me.
Yeah. What's wrong? You don't think you can do it, Connor?
No, I do not think I could do
You
it.
don't remember what happened last time?
I think you could put a gun to my head and I wouldn't be able to do it properly, Like, I'd fumble, I'd get through it, but...
I thought I heard you volunteering to do it earlier.
You did volunteer to do it
You
earlier.
heard AP volunteering.
No,
me.
you volunteered to do it. You said that you remembered how it went and that someone should fill the audience in. That is part of what you said.
That is part of what I said. That doesn't mean me,
That's okay. Right now the party is split. A man who doesn't like to ever take a shower, but the only thing he likes even less than taking showers is meeting with his dad, is currently rage taking a shower.
That's right.
And the rest of the party is going to visit his dad, but don't realize that his dad is like, I don't want to see my son anyway. He's a baka, because they rolled really low on their insights. And his mom is constantly trying to recruit more people to join the Green Faith. You just left his house. That is to say, you left the house of Wolfgang Truck at the end of the last episode. So, what would all of you like to do? Maybe there's some place you'd like to meet? After you take your rage shower?
Should we just meet? We're at Ono's house, a business thing, right?
Sure.
Should we just meet back there?
All right. So as you enter the room with Wolfgang, who's seated relaxedly, having just suffered through a shower, someone enters the room behind you and goes, hello, excuse me, are all of you Team 4, Pillar Team 4?
Yes, who are you?
I'm just a messenger for the Fallow Moon Council. would you actually like to know who I am, or would you like my message? You know, normally people don't stop to question me.
Oh, I'd like both, It's nice to meet you.
Oh, okay. Well, my name is Thomas. Well, I'd say I'm 26, single. Messenger. It's a very proud, long profession. Gotta have good cows. Do a lot of stretching, active, dynamic, and also static. I'd say...
Do you like to read, Thomas? What is your favorite book?
I don't actually like reading that much, but my family does, tell tales and songs together in private.
What's your favorite tale?
Well, my favorite tale is the tale of how the gods came together in order to save Fallow Moon. So it's the tale of how the nameless old grandmother just died, and as she did, the god of rest was like, "Yo, I'm gonna get up in here, and I'm gonna save these people." Because the wizard forgot to give them food. Oh, it's my favorite tale.
This is a good tale, and I can tell that much thought has been given to your backstory.
What? No,
Message, please.
Wow, you're really gonna diss this backstory?
No, I'm not dissing it at all. We were just checking to make sure. That's all.
Checking to make sure.
We were testing the waters.
Thomas the messenger. Well, see, here's the thing about named NPCs. Once you name them, they never go away.
Well,
you know how this works.
Could be good, could be bad.
You know how this works. He'll be dead in 3 or 4 episodes, and you'll be the one killing him.
Mm-hmm. I'm sharpening my axe right now.
That was some real Cancol shit. From back in the day. Every time we were like, here's a new NPC, they were dead shortly afterwards. Yeah, so he presents you with a summons by the Fallow Moon Council to present yourself today, if you'd like to. It's like, if it pleases you, we would not find your presence amiss to attend today's Fallow Moon Council post-lunch. Sign the Fallow Moon Council.
So I guess post-lunch, I guess that means they won't be offering lunch.
That means we should probably eat before we go.
We should eat before we go.
We should eat before we go.
Don't ever counsel on an empty stomach is a lesson that I've always lived by. These are rules. They must be followed.
Don't counsel.
This is the way.
Also, I forgot to tell you, Wolfgang, I'm very proud of you for taking a bath.
I did it out of anger. Thank you for being proud, but don't get used to it. I start rubbing dirt on myself.
No, don't do that.
Fortunately, there's no dirt for you to do that with inside this beautiful, clean inn.
There was going to be like an Arnold Predator situation, Just
no. Do the triple claw.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can only think of like when you give a dog a bath and they run outside and start rolling around in the grass as soon as you're done.
You're thinking along the correct lines there, Cotton. Yeah, should we get lunch and then counsel it up?
Yeah, I know a good food wagon place around the way. If
food wagon, that doesn't exist.
It doesn't. Oh, damn. Okay.
No, sorry.
Shit, let's invent a food wagon, guys.
A food wagon.
You certainly can. No,
I was thinking food truck.
Almost, yes. Yeah. I know you're thinking food truck, but the local community doesn't have enough food to sustain something like that. Almost all food is either cooked in your own house after taking it to you pre-assemble a dish and you take it to a bakery and they bake it for you so it'll be warm later in the day for you to serve your family, or you eat at one of the communal eating areas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry they don't have a food wagon, but that does sound like something that would be very popular
in another fantasy universe.
Just remember, I still want to run that D&D Space Gladiators.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to see that
with Mick.
Yep.
I'll never get him in on it, but I wanted to have Mick in on it.
Full Bork. Full Bork.
No, it wasn't full Bork. It was
No, it
Spethizit
wasn't full
Noble
Bork.
Ward.
Yeah, that's right.
That comic was dark.
Maybe I'll try and convince him sometime in the future.
No, it's good. I definitely don't want it to end the same way the comic did.
No, it'll be cheerier. I mean, you got me around, so
That's a joke. I don't think that makes things automatically better, Connor.
No, I agree.
Didn't you get turned into a stick?
What?
You got turned into a stick. You got turned into an evil druid stick after he used the cards.
Mick has a dark streak, you know?
Yeah, he does. That didn't have anything to do with Mick. That had to do with you. I'm just saying, you can't control Mick. He's crazy.
That's for sure.
Crazy good at what he does. All right. So today the lunch is rather small, as it normally is. It's like a heavy breakfast and a heavy dinner, but it does involve like roasted beans in a seasoned sauce, something that could very easily be put together pretty quickly to feed a lot of people and cover a lot of food groups all at once. Cart nuts. It's true. Cart nuts also don't exist in this universe.
It's so sad.
Sorry, they exist in this universe, just not in this realm.
Not in food form. It's more of a decoration.
What do you want, edible cart nuts? Jesus. What is even happening anymore? I mean, edible cart nuts would just be cherries, right?
Gross.
It's your idea.
This is an all ages show.
It never was, but let's try. I always try. Yeah. I like that you think this show still has an audience at this point.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. So you guys grab a quick meal and then you head to the council.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So they have set up outside of the typical old government area, which is located in the direct center of the city, which now has been overgrown by the dungeon pillars appearing, and thus the need to put as many workshops as possible as close to that. So the old government district might still have some administration buildings, but for the most part, it's been moved to the eastern side of Fallow Moon, where you find an open air tent where a lot of people are sitting down to enjoy something like a charcuterie board being passed around. You don't recognize a lot of the people here, although maybe you've seen them from a distance as being people who are important. You do, however, recognize the first person you met in this game, who is the Dragonborn wizard. Name eludes me because it's been like 6 months. Rack the Timeless, Arch Sorcerer, and Keeper. And it just kind of waves you over next to him, where he's got like a wooden board covered with unusually colored meats, sliced incredibly thinly, some cheeses, and some nuts and grapes. And I mean, this is like a meager, it's very finger foods.
Hey there, Rat. Don't mind if I do.
Please go ahead. So
How have you been?
Oh, it's been well. I was worried about your dungeon team. That sometimes people don't come back, but now that you're here, I'm in a better spot, and mostly just been keeping the time. And you all, I've heard rumor that you're. And he gestures toward Wolfgang's pouch. You've had mixed success, but you managed to find several seasonings.
Say we'll do in a pinch. Get it?
Did you find anything else of interest during your travels? Please feel free to talk casually here. This meeting is somewhat less formal than normal. You can see like some of the people are interested in what you have to say, and others are just chewing and eating, talking to
Found
each other.
some leads on various things.
Oh, like what?
Well, we found a river full of magic.
A river of magic. I would love to see that. What kind of magic?
Magic that disorients you.
Nope, that's bad.
Yep. Probably.
Okay.
Conversely, we did find a gigantic bread loaf creature.
Oh, do you mean the loafalo? The French loafalo?
How'd you know? Yeah, that's right. French
Well,
loafalo.
I am the Arch Sorcerer. I do have access to the all thing.
Well, yes, that's precisely what we found.
Yes.
It's quite big though. I mean,
You don't seem skilled enough yet to be able to take one down, but... And he looks around and he says, you'd be able to feed the entire village for a meal off of something that size.
It was quite large.
Yes. You know, again, it's not anyone's place on this council to tell you what to do. You were to tame and breed French lofalos. Good. Quite a harvest every once in a while.
Is there a way to do that?
I can't say I'm quite sure. You could ask the all thing if you're willing to risk it. But, isn't Ono literally a embodiment of the forces of nature?
Yeah, we could talk to the French Luffalo and ask it.
See, this is problem solving at its finest.
I guess. Well, I mean, isn't that quite dangerous?
Oh, I suspect it's extremely dangerous. You haven't explored very much of the land that you're in, I'm sure. I mean, how far did you go?
how far? Like, if Cayso would
How far
know.
did we
How do
go?
you- yes, but the question is, how do you want to describe it? Like, in terms of days traveled, in terms of footsteps? Do you describe it in miles?
I guess I was thinking miles. Yeah,
Okay.
but
You give him the number, and he says, well, "That's not very far indeed." And most of it was along. You went there and back, so you just recovered
yes.
the same ground.
Well, that's because we found a forest that did some funky time stuff.
it could kill us.
Time
Kill us
stuff.
all.
A funky time stuff forest that can kill you.
I mean, in so many words. Yeah.
We should talk more about this when I have a notebook and a pen. That said, it's up to you to navigate the dangers of the places you visit. Was there anything, edible in that forest? Was there a reason for you to return?
Well, I mean, it seems
We
like we
were-
found some ants.
The main reason we returned was because we don't know how long we were stuck in the time forest, and we weren't sure if we'd been gone for quite a while.
I'd say it was about 10 days.
How long do people normally stay outside of the village?
Well,
Is 10 days a short time?
Team 5 sometimes would spend years away.
Oh,
Only
but they are
sending back
brown
their
noses.
blessing.
Nobody likes Team 5.
Everyone around you looks shocked when you say that. Like, you've just insulted, like everyone's favorite grandfather.
Team 5
overachievers.
provides food for the village,
They used to. The last
See?
member of Team 5 has not been as expedient as one would expect, but given their years of service, we allow it to pass. Now, speaking of a team, Pillar Team 3, and he gestures to Cayso, They'll stay out at months at a time, but they make daily, sometimes multiple times a day, deliveries back using their very impressive cart logistics. They have issued a challenge to you, Cayso.
Me?
Yes.
Oh
Oh,
wow!
yes.
I'm surprised they even remember me. I mean, that's an
Wild
honor.
Rider has asked me to give you this package and set aside some supplies for you.
A challenge with a package.
I'm
you
looking
say.
forward to the results. I know what's inside the package. He gestures to his dragonborn snoot and gives a sniff.
Well, do you mind if I take a peek?
So, yeah, he like gestures to the package, but he also hands you the letter at the same time.
Oh, I see the letter. Okay, yeah. So I'll open up the letter.
Connor's
and,
like, should I open up the present or should I figure out who it's from? Which is more important. It looks like a PlayStation 5 box, but
Open it.
sorry. No, I'll take a look at the letter.
okay. The letter is from Bedret Wild Rider, although you know that her handwriting could never be this good, so probably someone else on the team wrote it for her.
Well, let me get out my note page here.
Well, this is the one who taught you ranching and was your mentor.
Ah.
You'd find that on your note page because you're the one that sent me that information.
I don't think I really.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I take it out and examine the.
She's
Do I
basically
know
their rancher, but also their rider.
Do I know who might have written it also, like in her? As
Yeah,
opposed...
probably Sterling Purcell, another member of Team 3.
Mm-hmm.
He's a half-elven rogue expert and a handy person. He's very stereotypical half-elven swashbuckler, swaggler, kind of shady. Spends a lot of time putting knives in things' backs.
But with very good handwriting.
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
I see. We're getting all the backstory for our characters now.
It's been a while.
I'll take. So what's the contents of the letter?
The contents of the letter are a challenge. Challenging you to cook what's in this package for the council
Today?
today for dinner.
Oh. And this is a group challenge, I assume.
Yes.
Or is it just for?
It's a cooking
okay.
challenge. This is
Okay.
an official cooking challenge.
Oh shit.
So, you know, I'm not going to go through the whole letter because it includes a lot of like things only Cayso and Bedret would have talked about. But the you know, the 10% that's important to us is I want you to complete this challenge with your pillar team as best you can. We're no longer employer blessed and blesser. We are rivals now. And you need to prove yourself to the council and to all the people of Fallow Moon. I personally selected the meat for this challenge, so you need not worry about its quality. You will need to guide your team in creating this. I look forward to seeing what you make. And perhaps when you are stronger and can bring food through your pillar, we'll meet for real. In a real challenge.
Exciting. Well, that's an honor. Well, what do you say, folks? You up
Say
for
to
the
what?
challenge? Well, I suppose I would have read out the letter to you guys. So
Did you fake her accent when you read it? I just want to know for purposes.
I don't think I would.
That sounds fun.
My dearest Thomas,
I
I
probably
know
do.
that the war has gone on long.
Well, what do you think? What do you think she packaged us? I don't know what kind of meat.
I would suggest just to open it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take it.
Is a box right there?
You cut open the packaging, which is like it's like cookie sheet paper.
Wax paper?
Yeah, it's wax paper. Thank you. Inside is a recipe list, seasonings, and ingredients The recipe is for blackened water onion soup that is then to be distilled into a rice dish, accompanying a Western Kingdom sauce on a hog's meat sandwich. It looks pretty complicated. And it's a lot of protein. It's an incredibly huge amount of protein for one meal.
Is there a kitchen around the council?
There isn't one here, but there are plenty of kitchens around the whole area that you can select one to cook out of.
They're all available for our
you.
usage?
Oh, for you. For to cook for the council, of course. You can go to one of the main kitchens in the main eatery hall, you know, light that bad boy up. Cook like a rock star in front of the whole village.
Where do you guys think we should ply our trade?
Could always do it at Ono's Inn.
The only place I've cooked.
Could even try to do it at Wolfgang's parents' house.
Yeah, no.
Final option, you could technically try to cook inside the pillar and bring it back out to the people waiting outside in front of your pillar.
Do we have a kitchen in the pillar?
You do. If you'll recall, your pillar has 3 bedrooms, a closed off 4th bedroom, and the middle area is a kitchen setup, plus now it has wagon tracks now that you're level 2.
What would the... I mean, is there some sort of advantage to cooking inside the pillar as opposed to like at Ono's?
It's your kitchen.
It's privacy.
So maybe we could come up with some secrets that folks wouldn't be able to see.
That's true. You could.
In this case, though,
no one would be
are
able to see your secret technique, Wolfgang, as you stand there with knife in sheath, waiting until the perfect moment where we just see the shh, and then the meat just splits into 3.
Well, because it's terrified. I frighten the meat into tiny chunks.
Yeah, sorry. I don't have a meat frightener in my kitchen drawer.
I made it myself. It's a very specialized piece of equipment. Well, and I get what you're saying, Connor. You were about to say, well, we're following a recipe. Sure, but we could also put our little twist on it, too.
You can.
That's
I'm
fair.
not going to stop you from doing that.
Then again, if you do plan on doing that knife thing, I think people should see it. We should do it in a public kitchen.
Maybe as part of the presentation.
Okay.
I vote for doing it in our own kitchen.
Okay.
I think we need to get used to using our own kitchen as well.
Well, I guess Cayso is going to excitedly gather up the ingredients and hustle and bustle his way into the kitchen.
Okay.
Get everything ready for you guys while you guys get
And this
ready.
is in your own pillar kitchen, correct? Just confirming.
Yes.
You're making me nervous about it.
Yeah. Are you sure?
No, I'm not.
Cotton.
Are you sure? I'm for my own.
No, that's a perfectly valid question.
I'll let you know when it's. Are you sure? Because I'll literally say the words every time to send a threat of alarm to you.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Okay. So let me get my notes out here. Blackened onion water soup. So let me go through the whole recipe for you real quick so you get a good idea of how to divide things. Just as a reminder, one person will need to complete each challenge, and strength or dexterity is used for something like chopping or any tough manual work, and wisdom is used if you need to simmer something or if you need to carefully stir something or like watch something bake. And you can't do 2 challenges in a row, so you have to rotate through them. Okay. So to start with, the black onion water soup is chopping onions, followed by stirring them, caramelizing the onions in butter, and deglazing them in wine sauce. Then adding vegetable stock and seasoning, fish stock, and something called town, which is elven leaf, and other seasonings to it, simmering it, then broiling the remainder. Then you take that and you dilute it by adding a little bit more water and rice, then simmering that, stirring it for 20 minutes, and then taking that off and grating Parmesan cheese over it in order to make a combination extremely concentrated onion rice dish.
It's almost like a risotto is what it sounds like.
Because
you're stirring the rice instead of like covering and simmering.
Yes. The Western Kingdom sauce is melting butter, adding flour, and then adding milk to it, then stirring it, and then adding elven leaf thyme and grated cheese. Then you top hog's meat that has been sliced over bread and cheese, then adding the Western Kingdom sauce over it. Then you toast the sandwiches and then add a fried egg over the sandwiches while they're being broiled. Add salt and serve both dishes. This is just the first challenge. And you know what? Just remember, Sputnik promised that he would recreate all of the dishes for his food blog.
This sounds delicious.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to send me the recipes. I didn't write
You're
that
making
down.
a croque madame with French onion soup that's been distilled into a rice dish.
That's basically what it is? A
Yeah.
croque madame with a French onion soup rice? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I like that.
French onion soup risotto, remember?
Yes. That actually sounds really good.
I know, because I'm the one that came up with the recipe for this.
Holy shit. Okay.
Oh, Drummer Boy sent me a message. He wants me to get a Hello Fresh partnership for the show. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if we start meeting more regularly, I'll think about it. I would love to get some discount Hello Fresh for myself. Yeah. So
Okay.
you all are looking over the recipe. You're in your tower. You've gathered up enough ingredients to provide 1/2 of a sandwich to all of the council members and a small amount of rice that with the concentrated onions go with it. So, who goes first?
Is there any
task-
way we could add some volume? I don't know.
In
just-
what way?
Well,
You're
maybe
gonna,
if
you
we-
could add more water to it, but then it's just going to be like more like a thin, watery rice soup.
Mhm.
Maybe more.
We
like
couldn't
a
maybe
stew.
provide more rice. Do we have any more rice
You do
available?
not. You do. Have you found any rice?
No.
No.
Okay.
If it's not on your character sheet, you can't add.
Okay. Well, we don't have any of these ingredients in our character.
You're
sheet, but
being
okay.
provided with just enough to serve everybody, assuming you don't make any mistakes.
Right.
So you said like chopping and stuff would be like dexterity?
And
Dexterity and
yes.
strength. Yeah.
All right,
So-
so I have a 16 strength or 13 dexterity. So I could do the chopping if y'all would like. Is that
Yeah,
how
I'm
it
pretty
works?
flexible.
Sounds good.
Okay.
My character.
Wolfgang, talk me through your chopping technique. What are we looking at here?
All right, so I'm going to have the onions and then slice them into thin strips to get them ready to caramelize, to
Okay.
get the sort of French onion flavor going. And we need to do that first because that's going to take the longest probably of anything. And that's going to take close to an hour.
It is.
get
In
these things-
fact, this says 1 hour.
Yeah.
Right here.
What else? What was the elven seasoning?
It's Talm, Elven Leaf.
Elven leaf. I will sort of roll that up into a bundle and do thin slices to get a nice little julienne going on those. It'll be nice and decorative, and it also will impart a maximum amount of flavor from that herb. What else do we have to slice?
Nothing for now.
Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, that's what I'll.
So go ahead and make a strength or dex check. When you
Okay.
hit a 12.
Do I just hit the save button?
No, it's not a save. It's a check for the stat.
How do I make it just roll that?
I don't.
You should be able to click the little square that your thing's in if it's on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, no, I'm
He's
not
talking
doing
about on the
that.
sheet.
Ah.
I will take a save. Let's
Okay.
just do that for now because you don't have saving throw proficiency in strength or dex. A natural one.
Wow.
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 Okay.
Well,
So
There
yeah,
you
like
go.
you try to do some fancy chopping techniques, and it's less chopping and it's like a uneven dice. These are not going to cook correctly.
Shit.
Then Cayso's watching. He's like, "You got to have a little bit stiffer of a wrist there."
My wrist is stiff.
It doesn't
Get off my back.
It looks
I'm
a
getting
little
all like pissed off and frustrated. Just make me lose a finger.
Maybe he. I'm gonna whisper to Ono like, maybe he needs to not have baths. Maybe that's what it is.
By the way, you have 4
No,
hours.
baths are good for you.
You have 4 hours to complete this dish before the people outside get restless.
Stop watching me cut. It's like a shy bladder. I cannot do this with you watching.
Now, one time you can restart the entire dish and redo a check.
Oh well, then hell, I'll do that.
So you're not gonna have enough ingredients if you restart now. But
Oh wait, so what do you mean not enough ingredients?
We have barely enough right
barely
now,
enough
so
for
if we throw
everybody.
them away,
Oh, I don't think we should. I mean, listen, it doesn't matter. The onions are caramelized. All right, I'm going to say this in character. So it'll be fine. So onions are caramelizing anyways. They break down into a mush. It doesn't. They don't need to be a pretty cut. And look, these are green herbs. They will look pretty no matter what. It's fine.
Are the cuts that have been made, are they too thick? Like, is it
they're
too
uneven.
They're uneven. So is there any way we could help him to make it so that we even out the ones that are uneven?
That would
wider?
be restarting it by like trying to do it again, and you're going to lose some of the substance in the process.
I see. Okay.
We just very low
I will
temperature.
say, if you're going to
The
restart,
onions will not burn.
the very first roll is the one to restart on.
Right. Yeah.
The onions will not burn.
It's going to cost
It
you
will
time.
be fine.
It costs
It
you
will
10
be fine.
minutes.
This will be fine.
Okay.
They will cook down. They turn to a brown mush anyway. It is for flavor. It is fine.
Now
This is
someone
not the
else
problem.
has to make the strength roll and tell me about your chop technique.
Are we? I thought we weren't re-rolling.
Oh.
Are we re-rolling?
No reroll.
No
Okay.
re-roll.
All right. Next up is caramelizing the onions. So this is going to be stirring. It'll be int or wisdom. You're going to be adding butter to soften everything up, and then deglazing the pan in wine in order to get those onions caramelized over an hour of simmering.
I'll stir.
Tell me about your stir technique, Brewmaster Druid. What are we
I think
talking about here?
I think she, does a nice. It's hard to describe stirring as anything other than stirring.
I mean, tell me about the implement with which you stir, right? Yeah.
Oh, I just have a big wooden spoon.
Yeah. Are you stirring it? Are you cooking it in your cauldron? In your magical brew cauldron?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna pop out my cauldron. Get this. Now this spoon is massive. It's like this tall. She's gonna be stirring it over it like a riches
See,
brew.
Cotton, this is how we get around to describing food actions.
And then she's gonna like slowly pour in the butter because she said we have to start with butter too.
Yes,
So that the
and
butter's
then wine
incorporated
later.
evenly.
Yeah, so it should be noted that you start with like a full cauldron of onions, and by the end of this, the bottom of the cauldron is basically like a thin scraping. They lose so much volume. Yeah, make an int or wisdom. You need to hit a 12.
Okie dokie. I don't know if it came over.
It didn't.
Nope. Not yet.
Oh, dang it.
You can take a
I
screenshot.
saw an 18.
No, you
Yep. I
didn't.
saw
It wasn't an
25.
18, but it was close. I'll just have to
You guys
re-roll
are
it
gonna
on
lie.
here.
You should say the same thing. You knew
Damn
that,
it.
right?
If you rolled it on beyond 20, why don't you just take a screenshot and put it into Discord?
No,
Does-
just roll it here. This
Yeah,
is
I'm
so
just gonna re-roll it. It's not that big of a deal.
Sure. Just
Here's your beyond 20 hacks, Conorhughes.
it's just Control Alt S, I think.
Beyond 20, my boot up your butt.
Oh, I got a better roll anyway.
Hey.
Okay, yeah.
Hey.
Did someone say 18?
Perfectly time that and pick yourself up. 10 points.
I like points.
Next up is balancing the seasonings for the vegetable stock. Fish sauce, the thyme, and the thyme. And simmering all of that into the caramelized onions for 10 minutes.
All right.
However, the balancing is somewhat more difficult than anything you've done so far. In order to make it taste right, you need to hit a 13.
Okay.
Okay, in or wisdom. Here comes
wisdom.
Mr. Beyond 20 here. Okay, well, all right. Beyond 20 worked out for you pretty well.
Yes.
Beyond 20, more like exactly 20.
Right.
How?
Precision cooking. That's what we do on Team 4.
I was gonna say the way Cayso measures out ingredients, it's like without precision. He's sort of like, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
No, I've seen this with professional chefs. They don't use measuring cups. They're literally just like, this is exactly what I need. Throw it in.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the rest of you are horrified as he's literally just like. You're like, there's a measuring cup right there, and he's like, I've done this before, guys. Don't worry about it. Probably the most difficult part of this is handling the thyme, the elven leaf, correctly, because it has to be removed at the end. And yeah, but you still need to get it soaked in enough to get the flavor, but you can't, simmer it so deep that you can't get back to it easily. All right, next up, you got to broil this sucker down for 5 minutes in order to, once again, reconcentrate the flavor. That's the enter wisdom.
My stats are fairly low on int and wisdom.
I can do it. We just have to do every other one.
That's fine.
Correct. Tell me about your broiling technique.
Oh, I'm
How do
putting
you
it back
get
in
the
the
flame
cauldron.
over top of the cauldron?
That's a good question. I have Druidcraft. I'm gonna just put the lid on there and start another fire on top of the lid.
It's like Disney birds and shit are like stirring and
Yeah.
I love this. The secret heated cauldron lid broil technique. All right, I'll buy that. It's magic. Make your roll. You need to hit a 10. Okay.
Oh, I hit a 10.
It's
precision.
It's difficult. It's difficult, and you barely get up to the heat needed for broil because you got to beat like 550 degrees in order to broil something Fahrenheit. It's rough. Like getting that lid off later, you're gonna need a long metal handle to lift it up and move it away. Yeah, but your new cauldron, your new magical cauldron comes into effect. You do perfectly well and pick up another 10 points. All right, now that that's finished, you need to dilute this now concentrated soup once more, then boil it, add rice, and simmer it. So that's all one check with int wisdom.
Cayso.
Yep, I'm good. I mean, we'll see if I'm good, but so what does this involve? Boiling and then reducing?
You have to dilute the soup with some water. Then you have to boil that. Then you add rice at the height of the boil and then simmer it for 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. Trying to think of a way I could describe that, but
it's about waiting for the perfect moment when the bubbles begin roiling right in the center of the pot. That's when you know it's time to add the rice. You know how you describe it, Cayso? You say, I'm making this rice Persian style. I'm going to saute it in some butter in a pan first before I add it. So it's like it's pre-fried.
You mean I'm going to cheat? Okay, I'll cheat.
Cheat? You think Persian rice is cheating?
We've discussed this before. I've explained the reasons. I won't go into the details of.
You're wrong. Persian rice. It's not cheating. It's the pinnacle. It's the
not
apex
cheating,
rice.
It sounds like it is. Yes.
I am down for anything that involves cooking something in more butter.
Oh, I don't know why you had Pondo move out to you. You would have done well moving over to him.
Have you ever ate the food in Nebraska?
Yes, one time when I passed through it. I assure you that in West Virginia, Paula Dean, she's just like, it says 2 sticks of butter, so I thought I'd add 5.
Butter is delicious.
Look, those people that are like me, that when they see someone that's like, all right, add 4 cloves of garlic, you're like, that's not enough garlic. Here's 12. All right? That's what Southern people do with butter.
They're not wrong. I'll give him that.
All right, so yeah, tell me about how you precision cook this.
I thought
Dramatic
you were
description, Connor. Give me the dramatic description.
I want to add I'll add the visual to what you described,
Sure.
which is like it. You see the pot boiling, it's reaching that precise moment, and then there's like a anime like flash cut, and it's like ching, and then the eyes like the right, and it's like, and then you see just the flash hand movement. This is,
The rice, you throw the rice in.
Yeah, of course.
Projectile throw. You don't pour the rice in like a normal person. Okay, make the roll. We'll see how good it is. Oh, was that your roll to 15?
Yeah, that was my roll to 15.
Good enough for me.
All right.
Next is a vigorous stir of the rice until all liquid is absorbed for 20 minutes. This is strength dex.
I can do that.
Just know the next part involves also doing strength dex.
Okay, I can do the next one.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do manual here.
Tell me about your stirring technique. What do we got?
So
How vigorous is your stir?
I mean, it's quite vigorous.
Clockwise or counterclockwise?
Always clockwise.
All right.
It's vigorous, but also at a steady pace.
Okay.
Right?
At a
I'm really
medium
treating
pace.
it the way it needs to be treated. It's not getting bruised, but it's getting broken up just enough to impart all that flavor. For a 19.
Okay. More than good enough. 10 more points.
Fantastic.
Next, you have to take the rice off of the heat and quickly grate Parmesan over it while it still has time to absorb the boil heat so that it will soak into the rice. That's a strength dex check. So you don't have a cheese grater, so I'm curious as to how you do the cheese grating. The Parmesan.
Let me check my character sheet.
I have cook's utensils. Does it have a cheese grater in it?
Let's say yes.
Oh.
I will
in that
give him
case-
one.
I love the
thanks.
idea she's just going through a pack. She's like, haha, tosses it over his shoulder. You catch it in midair. Shushing, shushing. Wow, you guys are rolling amazing. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
Knocking this out the freaking park. All
Don't
right.
say that. You're gonna jinx it.
Good. That's exactly what I want to have happen. Perfect. The onions are now incredibly super concentrated, where once you had a whole cauldron of onions, now you've got like one plate full of onions over top of rice, and then you grate cheese over all of that. The flavor, you smell the seasonings, has all been super concentrated 3 times. It's crazy. There's definitely a lot of waste that went into this dish, but it smells amazing. While that sits, you have to keep it warm and then start working on the Western Kingdom sauce, which is made by melting butter into a roux, which is butter and flour, and then you add milk and stir in grated cheese. This is all a strength dex check.
Do you want me to go again?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, here we go. So
We've got you going, breaking the butter down into smaller pads, and then milk, whisk. But don't let me tell it. You tell it. You tell it.
all with a deft of strength and perception and accuracy. Oh yeah,
Yeah, how accurate? Pretty fucking accurate.
pretty accurate. Like I'm literally almost commanding each little piece of cheese where to land. Like
There's
that's
not
how
a
accurate-
single uncooked grain of
No.
flour. Not a molecule.
The cheese sauce is now just buttery smooth.
Next up, we need someone to precision cut the bread into loaves, then cut the cheese into slices, and top roasted hog's meat over all of that. So, bread, meat, cheese, and then top it with the sauce.
I think I can assemble a sandwich pretty well.
You have to do all of it in 5 minutes for like 24 people.
Is it going to be a difficult roll?
It surprisingly is not that difficult.
Okay.
But
What
must
is it
be done.
based?
Strength Dex.
Yeah,
I was like, I was gonna see if I
could.
could assist him, but I don't know if I can assist him with that.
If you do a system, you can't roll on the next roll.
Oh, I thought this was the last roll. That was my bad.
Nope. Next up, you have to broil the sandwiches.
It's
That's
my
a
bad.
wisdom?
Go ahead.
Yep.
Okay.
No, it's Strength
Yeah.
Dex. Strength Dex.
It's also
Oh,
strength
no.
Dex.
Yep, Strength Dex.
So in that case, I mean, if you want to help Cotton, you can.
Oh, sorry. You're asking what the next roll is.
Yes.
Okay. It's Strength Dex, then it's Int Whiz, and then it's Strength Dex again to fry some eggs.
Okay, so yeah, go do your thing by yourself
Okay.
so that I can do the next one.
Okay.
Like I said, I could make a sandwich.
You can make a sandwich. There.
Oh, good
Listen,
job.
it's a time crunch, but you get there. You know, precision chopping. Tell me about it, though, Cayso. Tell me about it.
I mean, if I've got a proper bread knife, the main technique is to ensure that not too much bread is lost in the process of the grind, right?
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that you're flipping with your wrist to make sure that all the grains are staying close into the bread. That's the main trick.
I just learned something today. How to cut bread with a bread knife. I normally just use a regular ass knife.
Well,
I'm a savage.
sometimes it's useful with the right kind of bread. I mean, it depends on the kind of bread, right? So,
all right, then you chop the meat and you cut the cheese. Connor cutting the cheese over top of the meat, and then you cover it in the Western Kingdom sauce. All right, next up is toasting the sandwiches in a cast iron pan.
I will do that.
Very well. It's Int Whiz. You just got to make sure you don't burn these suckers.
I'm
Well,
really
heats up
scared
the
about
meat.
burning them, so I'm
Yeah.
going to use that inspiration you gave us.
My goodness.
Ah,
What a
What?
precision time drop on the second to
we are
last one.
all about precision.
Incredible.
Yeah, I really don't want to. We don't have time to restart it.
Yes, you definitely don't. You're almost 3 hours in, and you have less than an hour to complete. Okay, you get a second roll, so maybe you can do better, but you succeed.
I didn't do better, but I
That also
succeeded.
would have succeeded.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, yeah. These
I guess I panicked
sandwiches,
for nothing.
the outside of the bread, it is perfectly toasted. It has a golden brown, but not too crispy, you know? Because now...
Can I toast it with oolong?
Yes.
That's what I want to do then.
How do you involve oolong into this?
Well, I was just thinking of that. Have you ever seen Mulan when she lights the
You're asking me if
firework?
I've seen Mulan. Yes, Cotton. I have seen Mulan.
You know how she grabs Mushu's tail and then she like uses him as like a little torch?
He does not have that capability, unfortunately.
Dang it.
I'm sorry, he can't breathe hot fire. He's a tea dragon.
Yeah, I thought he would have like a little fire to start brewing the tea.
He can brew a magical tea over 10 minutes for one person, one cup.
Never mind then.
You're the morality tale of the merchant who has to heat his dinner with a candle. Oh, that's a callback. Man, how are you going to talk about Mulan? Ming-Na Wen is Mulan. She's doing incredible. She's Fennec Shan from The Mandalorian. And she's now in Bad Batch. She's in everything, man. Next up, the final thing you definitely super can't mess up. Fry eggs while broiling the sandwiches after they've been toasted. And then season the eggs and the sandwich with salt on the top. 2 minutes. Strength Dex.
you want me to help you with the toasting or the seasoning there, Wolfgang? Oh, I don't mind. I got a spare hand.
Help me out with toasting, because that's where it could go really wrong.
It's broiling, not toasting, but yeah, now
Or broiling, yeah.
they've already been toasted. Now you need to superheat the meat and cheese on the inside.
Yeah.
This is like Overcooked. You guys are waiting. You're like waiting there for the perfect steam sizzling noise and the cheese to start gooping out the side of the sandwich. But if it goes too long, it catches on fire.
Like, it's totally okay for a game to like raise your heart rate a little bit. Like, I shouldn't feel like I'm having a heart attack the entire time I'm playing a game. It's not good.
Does it bring you and your loved ones closer? That's the question you could ask.
Oh no. I don't know. That's a good way to
You
do a
didn't feel
divorce.
closer to us after that? I thought we had good coordination.
I mean,
I thought it raised our friendship power. I'm sorry you didn't have fun.
I mean, it definitely raised our friendship power, but I think we've hit the limit on that now.
Okay.
Maybe another game. Okay, so I'm going to throw this precise mess, under the broiler for a precise amount of time. I'm going to take it out at the perfect moment with the help of Cayso. With the help of Cayso.
Yeah, roll Cayso.
Oh, I thought he was rolling. What is this?
No, but let's
I
do
did
yours
roll.
as well. Yeah, let's do you roll as well.
Are we doing Dex? Sorry.
Strength or Dex?
I did strength, but oh Jesus!
What?
Oh no, you guys just bungled the broiling. So there's like these undercooked runny eggs on top of these perfectly toasted sandwiches.
I mean, that's fine. It's better than burned. The
Undercooked runny
6,
eggs. Oh, man.
7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so you guys earned 100 points. All right, next up, you have 45 minutes remaining, and you can do some extra things to your dish. If you have a seasoner, you can season the dish sweet, spicy, or plain. Sorry, the baker can turn the dish sweet, or the seasoner can turn it spicy, or you can leave it plain. And if the seasoning matches the need of the guests, their overall average, you'll get bonus points. And after that, if you have time, the presenter can spend 10 minutes to make the dish look as good as possible to give you another 10 points.
So I'm a presenter, so I would be at the end.
It would seem that it would be a good idea for you to do the presentation part then.
Yeah,
I don't
but
think we have a seasoner, right? Seasoner is the
You do
wizard.
have a baker, though, so you could make it sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to make it sweet though?
That's a great question.
maybe
a
a little
crook.
nutmeg on top. Do we have nutmeg?
It's a croque monsieur, so I don't know what that is.
Croque madame. It's like
Croque
a ham and cheese
madame.
sandwich
It's
with
a fancy
cheese
French.
sauce and an egg on top.
Oh, look
Oh,
at
yeah,
it.
that
It
looks
looks
awesome.
amazing. Yes.
We could make the bread a little bit sweet to counteract all the salty meat.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys though.
No, that's. I think that's a good idea.
Do we
Okay.
have any we don't have any knowledge of the palates of our guests?
I will allow someone to make some sort of roll to infer that somehow. Whether you sneak around outside, like you exit and then you sneak around and wait to see if someone's like, I sure hope they make it super spicy. Or, I have quite a sweet tooth today.
Could I use perception to do that?
Yes. You could do that. It'll cost you 10 minutes of time.
Do y'all want to do
40,
that?
right?
I could stealth in there. Try and
could
like
stealth.
eavesdrop.
Yeah.
Depends on how you.
I have a +4 to perception, so
I've got let's see. I've got pretty good perception. Yeah, I got +5.
Oh shit! Well,
Cotton, what do you think?
We could do it.
We could do it.
I mean, we
I
have
think
time. We have 45
we have time.
minutes. This is going to take 10 minutes. How long is it going to take to then act on this knowledge?
I think it takes 10 minutes to sweeten it.
Okay,
Yeah, if we have 45 minutes, we have
plenty of
basically
time.
like 4 turns or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I'm going to take a surreptitious look at our guests to try and hear what anyone's saying, just kind of like feel the vibe of the room.
You vibing, bro?
I'm always vibing.
Okay.
The question is how much.
Yeah. You're perceiving or you're stealthing?
I'm just perceiving.
Okay. I like the idea that you're just trying to act casual, but it doesn't really work, but you're just
Vibe
straining
check,
your
bro.
senses.
Vibe check.
Yeah. Go ahead. Make a perception.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, your vibe check is pretty good. The vibe you're picking up from here is that people would really prefer a sweet dish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not a
works.
festival day. They hear that, it's going to be Western Kingdom cooking, so they aren't expecting the kind of heavy seasonings that they expect from the Shin Kingdoms.
That works because we can't do the other one.
Right. Gonna relay that to Ono.
All right. Oh no. How do you make it sweet?
Hold on, I gotta read the little description thing.
Of the croque madame or of the baker trait?
The baker trait.
I'm just going to go look at some more pictures of croque madames.
I don't remember if I have to have something to make it sweet. Or do I just make it sweet?
I think you make it sweet. You basically have the capability to make it sweet by having the ingredients on you at any time.
Oh, okay. In that case, I want to make the bread taste a bit more like a brioche.
Okay.
I think that would
How do you
taste
do that?
good with the eggs and the magic.
I'd say you can make it taste a bit more buttery and eggy for sure, given the fact that it's covered in wet egg. But yeah, you can butter that bread for sure.
I will butter that bread.
You make it sweet. Presenter, you're making it look as good as possible.
Yeah. I'm going to. Do we have like a torch on the wall or something like that? Something that has fire coming off of it?
Sure.
I'm going to use that to get just a little bit more of a toast on the top, right? Which also might help fix our running egg situation. Get some little brown spots on it, some leoparding, if you will. And then if we've got a little more of the elf, what is it? Elf leaf elf?
Yep. Oh.
I will.
It's bay leaf, but yes.
Oh, it's bay leaf?
Yes.
Yeah,
I just didn't want to just be like, I didn't want to outrightly say it's a croque madame with a rice pilaf with distilled French onion soup. I wanted to.
Okay, well, I'm not going to sprinkle bay leaf on top of it because no one wants to eat that.
That's correct. That's why I said you'll recall earlier. I was like, Connor, you're going to have to take it out at some point.
That was a red flag.
Yep.
Do we have any other fresh green herbs?
Sure. You have all of the herbs that you put in your pocket, your seasonings.
Yeah, you have a lot. You've got like garlic, stuff like that.
Where's my?
Remember, it's got to work with the sweet.
Yeah. So wild garlic has like green tops on it.
Yep.
Almost
Sprigs.
like chives.
Yeah.
So I'm going to chop those very finely after I, hold the torch over the top to get some good leoparding and kind of finish cooking the eggs. Then very, very thinly sliced, almost looking like chives, but it has a garlicky taste to it rather than onion. Sprinkle those over the top right at the very end, uncooked, bright green, very pleasing to the eye because we eat with our eyes first.
Magnifique.
What do you think about breaking the egg yolk so that it drapes down the sandwich and then onto the whiteness of the plate so that there's that bright color?
You should always set the person eating the food to break the yolk. That's the best.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
Normally, your tracker, who is in fact Cayso Hamhand, would be able to give you more points if he tracked the meat and killed it himself and then try to get a quality cut out of it. Your mentor has provided you with the finest cut for plus 10 points. Right. So based on having the correct seasoning, a presentation, and the finest meat, you get plus 30 points. Okay. So next up, you need to answer casual questions from the people that are eating your dish. They're going to ask you 4 questions, and in the process, you can make insight checks into what they really want to know about you and about the dish. At the end of that, you make your speech and find out whether your dish was good enough.
Cool.
You're a presenter, so it's not as formal as having a judge or a panel of 3 judges. It's literally you're being judged by everybody on the council as you deliver your dish and present it. And Rack goes first and says, How did you and your team feel about making this dish, Mr. Truck?
Well, as you can tell, just by looking at the presentation and how well everything is put together, precision was the name of the game. Being precise in our flavors, being precise in our methods, and using the precise amount of ingredients. Because as you know, we only had a very small amount of ingredients, only just enough to get by. So precision is what went into this dish.
Okay. I would say that was a success. They liked the answer. If you would like, you can attempt to learn more about why they were asking that question, if you care. And if not, we move on.
Yeah, so insight?
Okay, yeah.
Do I have to roll that, or can someone
Yes,
else?
you have to roll it. A presenter.
Jesus. Okay.
You need an 11, and you got a 1.
A 1.
They call Rack the Timeless the Arch Sorcerer. He is basically unable to be read by common mortals. He is a very old, very wise, inscrutable dragonborn sorcerer. And he is chowing down. He's snooting out that sandwich.
I kind of lean over
oh,
to
no.
Ono
There's
in case
dipping
I'm
in
like,
the egg yolk, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
apparently I did not need to know more about this. He is satisfied.
What would you have done differently?
Same guys asking me this?
Yes.
I do feel that the initial preparation. Am I French now? God, stop it, Brian. I do feel that the initial preparation could have been more precise, more exacting with the cut of my knife. But you see, this is all practice and learning. And this is also our first time cooking for the council. So this is something that I personally will work on in the future. But overall, I am pleased with what we have given to you today.
Okay. He was not particularly satisfied by that answer. Someone else stands up and says, "Please, excuse me, Mr. Truck. Can you describe your other team members' efforts in making this dish through your eyes?"
Every team member contributed, I feel, equally. Ono was able to, through the simmering and cooking down of the ingredients, was able to add so much depth of flavor. Whereas Cayso not only contributed to things like stirring and cooking, but also to chopping and preparing ingredients as well, adding his strength and dexterity. So I do not think that the final product would be the same in front of you if all of us were not fully as committed as we were to preparing this dish.
Okay, they like that answer. Would you like to insight why they asked that question, or are you good to move on?
I mean, yeah, I might as well, right? Okay. Might as well roll another one. Oh.
I sense your bitterness. You need to make a 15. You got a 19. All right, so they have seen many presenters through the years, obviously from 5 different teams at any given time, right? And probably through the passage of time, while there may be 5 teams, those teams die out and are replaced by other teams. So overall, they might have seen many presenters before and are interested in, presenters have a sort of cocksure way to them in order to be the center point of the team. The question is, how much do you value your other team members? Which is what they want to know, is were you paying attention to what they were doing? And they seem very satisfied with your answer.
Cool.
Someone wearing clerical robes and carrying a holy symbol in the shape of a swirl stands up and she says, What does this dish say about your ability to provide for Fallow Moon?
Do you mean me personally or the entire team?
Both. Either.
Well, I think that, in order, obviously we must go out to the forest to find larger amounts of ingredients. But I think that this small example here has proven not only to the council, but more importantly to ourselves, that we can work together in order to create and make as much use of the ingredients as possible to serve as much food as we possibly can without ruining or having loss of ingredients along the way.
Okay, that's a success. They like your answer. Would you like to insight that?
I will.
Very well.
14.
Okay, that is much lower than what you need. Pretty difficult to get a read on what this person actually wants. They needed an 18. All right, you have an opportunity here to, as your rice dish is being served, accompanying the sandwich, to tie it all up with a final speech. I have to tell you, your current total is 136 points. In order to pass, you need 142, which means you need to nail this speech.
Okay.
And you
I believe in you, Spoot.
You only get to roll if the speech is relevant to the situation. You are a presenter, however, which means if you roll, you do so at advantage.
I roll...
Persuasion.
What do you mean? Oh, so I should roll persuasion first?
No. You have to give the speech first, and if it's relevant to the situation, then you get to roll at advantage. You can't just be like, yes, this is a dish. We made it. It was good. Right?
No.
You have to individualize it to the situation.
Yeah. So now that you have had this wonderful cheese and egg covered sandwich, I want you to think especially about the cheese and the sweetness that we have added to the bread, and now transfer that to this rice dish. You will taste sweetness from the caramelized onion. You will taste the same style of cheese that was used on the sandwich. And this links everything together, but also provides a different flavor and texture as well to round out the experience of the meal, while also providing even more sustenance. Because as we all know, rice, even on its own, can be quite a filling meal. So just think about not only filling your stomachs, but also filling your souls with the flavor of the rice, as it reminds you of the decadence of the sandwich. It should round out the meal and complete this entire experience, while also providing enough nutrients and food to leave you fulfilled for many hours or even possibly days to come.
Okay. Make your roll. At advantage, presenter.
Persuasion?
Yep. You need a 14. My God. Several people have fallen asleep in the middle of your speech. Others
for God's
have
sake.
heard this kind of stuff before and aren't really interested. Rack the Timeless looks around sadly. He's paying attention and gives you a slow clap, and at that, everyone else stands and claps as well. You fall 6 points short of a successful cooking trial.
God, inspiration would have even helped me because I rolled a 5 and a 1. That's terrible. I'm proud of this.
You should be proud of it. You guys did great.
Yeah.
For second level characters, you guys did amazing. This is meant to be a 5th level challenge.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we're only away.
Yeah. So, yeah, Rack comes forward and he says, you see now the kind of bar that you have to compete with. You made the dish, and you did a pretty good job with the ingredients. But I don't have to tell you that the other pillar teams would have all done much better than this. And it has nothing to do with your abilities now. It has to do with your teamwork. You need to refine it. Each of you is a good cook, but only through synergy can you complete a true dish, an amazing dish. Also work on getting some secret ingredients, you know? You know what I'm saying? Maybe some hot peppers or something? There's some, like, brown sugar? I'm not here to tell you how to do your job. I'm just here to cheer you on. I really appreciate what you did here. By the way, I love the sound. He says this as he licks his snoot. Out of all of that egg. Is there anything you need in order to do your job better? Anything I can personally provide?
Just give us time. I'm sure we'll find our way.
I don't want you to think of this as a loss. I want you to think of it as a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all of the ingredients you used here. That was one meal. Could you have brought all of this back as you are now in one day? You do need time, experience, knowledge, reconnaissance, intelligence. Hard work. It's tough times ahead for Pillar Team 4. But I believe in you. If you'd like to consult the All Thing, drop by the Wizard's Tower. I will be there. I suppose until I see you next. He turns around, he shuffles away, his tail dragging behind him, swinging back and forth happily.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
I think we need to work on our logistics for sure.
Logistics was the word that came to mind. It's true. But I mean, yeah, that was a lot of ingredients, and if we have to bring that back in a single day, well, we got a lot ahead of us to get working on.
If only you had a team of Blessed to work with you, and more importantly, a labor captain in order to help move stuff and prepare it for you.
I mean, we do happen to know someone, but I mean, I won't bring up that subject.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Your dad offered to help work with us.
Yeah, he seemed like a nice guy.
Putting it out there, so you are aware of what he wanted.
I mean, there are other teams we could work with, but it seems like that would be a good idea to me. But we can table that conversation for another time.
Wolfgang is shocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
You all right, man?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay. Do we want to take it's 10 minutes until break time, but we want to take our 2/3 way break now?
Yeah, that'd be good, actually.
Okay. All right, we'll come back in about 8 minutes for the second half. Stick around, friends.
So
I remember if I know how to do this. It's been like 2 weeks since I've had a stream.